Welcome to Freeing Yourself from Limiting Beliefs. Today is part four of this particular program. And so I'm hoping that you've done your work for the past 3 sessions over the 6 weeks. And now let's begin by first recapping the first 3 sessions. So recapping the first 3 sessions, we have the idea of whenever we try and want to express our desires, we have these naysayer thoughts. And what we did in session one was we identified and gotten more connected with those naysayer thoughts, because before they were just on automatic replay and we never really gave it any thought. So we became more self-aware and noticing that there are some of these negative naysayer thoughts that come in that stop you from expressing your greatness. So it keeps you from your highest expression. So we identified that. We showed, I showed you how you can actually monitor those things. And then once they're uncovered, it's a part for us to celebrate, because it is something that uncovers something that could lead us to something greater. After you identify the naysayer thoughts, we turn those into beliefs. So we said, well, this naysayer thought has this limiting belief that's associated with it. So we actually rewrote the naysayer thoughts, like, I don't have enough money to do that. How can I do that? To a belief system that says, I don't believe that I can generate enough money to do anything. And so that's a belief system. And then we took that belief system and said, well, we're going to turn that into an opposite belief. We're going to say now that I have abundance coming through, or whatever that naysayer limiting belief was. We turned it around, made it an opposite belief. And we basically said that we have a new belief, and these are inspiring and hopeful. Okay? Once we had these new beliefs, they were still in essence out of reach, because we are now believing that we are able to achieve something that we don't already have. So it remained for the next item for us to do, and that would clinch everything, is basically establish gratitude, saying that this is now, I'm experiencing this now. This thing that I truly believe in, that's a replacement belief, is now turning into a reality, so that my body is accepting it as a reality, and then the rest will follow. Okay, that's really essentially what we did in the first 3 sessions. We're going to take it one more level up in this particular session. Okay, but from the last session, there was practice exercise to write down your gratitude statement at least 21 times, twice a day, for 2 weeks, and experience emotions that kind of align with that gratitude. So almost like you're feeling these replacement beliefs that turn into gratitude. So I'm curious how that went for those who are listening live, and how that went for those who are listening to the replay. And there will be a place to comment on the replay, but there's also opportunity now to type in the chat area on how the 2 weeks went when you actually expressed gratitude, as if like you're believing this is happening. And when you wrote things down 21 times, twice a day, how did that work for you? What shifts happen in your system? All right. So if you want to type those in now, that's great. I want to share with you the next kind of, as an introduction to the next level up that we want to do here, just building on the first 3 sessions. The question comes up often: what is my purpose in life? Because when we think about, these are the goals I want to achieve, or these are the desires I want out of life. When we do that, we often ask ourselves, well, what am I meant to do? Is there a greater divine request? Is there a divine marching order for me to do what I need to do? And really what we want to talk about here is really this notion about, I'm going to get my life purpose downloaded from somewhere outside of me. I want to explore that, and I want to share with you a perspective. I don't believe that is indeed the case. If you would consider yourself as the architect of your own life's purpose, that means that the person who decides what my life purpose is is the one looking in the mirror, reflecting right back at you. It's you. And if you expect, I mean, if you turn that into, kind of suspend all the other beliefs that you have and just accept it for a second, that you are going to design your entire life. Now that's scary. That's scary for most people, because a lot of people will say, I designed this. This is not what I want. Well, that's exactly right. Because desires are born out of usually things that you want to improve upon. So you'll never be happy with what you have now, because you want to always level up. That's really the nature of human beings, is to always expand. So you may be happy with what you have now, but you may want more. So there's different levels. Like you may be really upset with what's happening in your life right now, and you want to break out of it to a neutral state. Or you may be excited about what's going on now in your life, and you can't wait for the next level up. Either way, you are looking to level up at each point. I started out as somebody who had very low self-esteem, who did not feel that I was worthy of anybody's friendship, that I was contributing in any way, in some way, shape, or form. And at that point in time, my desire was to actually be able to contribute to the livelihood of others and to support others. And I began to volunteer in different places. I began to, volunteer with senior citizens. I used to volunteer with youth. And I began to appreciate the reflection I got back. And people were saying, wow, you've really impacted my life. And when I got to that level, I no longer had a concern about moving to that level. I was just looking for the next level and next level and next level. So everybody is going to look for the next level. So you will never be satisfied with what you have now. So get used to that. The idea here is that you are your architect of your own life's purpose. And the second part is that the universe is actually waiting for you to actually lay it out and say, this is what I want. So rather than waiting for a divine inspiration to come in and say, what should I be doing? Because, I don't know what my life purpose is. It's about you going back to the divine and saying, I really am inspired to do this. This is what I want to do. And the universe will back you up, because the universe is here to support you, because you are part of the universe. And so the universe is helping the universe. And so if you consider that, suspend all the other belief systems you have for a second, for a moment, at least through this particular presentation, and begin to accept the fact that you are not only the architect of your life's purpose, that you will decide how you want your life to unfold, but the universe is there waiting to support you in many ways to help you fulfill that dream. Okay, so use that as a basis of your belief system for the next 45 or so minutes. After that, you can suspend that and go back to your other belief system if this doesn't resonate with you. Okay, got a comment coming through here. Michelle says, I'm grateful to have the opportunity for a redo on my homework assignment. Yes, beautiful. There's a little bit more redo coming in this particular session. So get ready. Now, and this is very timely comment, Michelle, reflect on your wants, needs, and desires from sessions 1, 2, 3. And the way I want you to reflect it, you've got it written down, you've honed it for the past 6 weeks. And now what you're going to be looking at is, I'm looking at these wants and desires, and ask yourself, are these wants and desires mine? Or is it something that I think somebody told me that this is my life purpose, right? So the distinction is this, that are these what I really want, my life purpose, or are these something that somebody said I should be doing because I'm really talented at this? And sometimes both of those will align. I know that there were a lot of, in my line of work, I come across a lot of psychics, and a lot of them have told me that they see me in front of large crowds, they see me doing presentations, and of course, all of that came true at the time that they told me. That wasn't even in my sights at the time, but it did come true many years later. But does that mean that they were telling me that this is my life purpose that was coming from the divine? Or were they telling me that that was on a trajectory, that this is going to happen because of my own desires that was going to create that? So I never really took their words and saying, well, now that I know I have my marching orders and moving in this direction, I just took their views and reflected on it and said, you know what? I wouldn't mind that. That would be wonderful. And then all of a sudden I kind of organically moved into that area. And that's the key. Reflect on your wants and needs in sessions 1 and 3 that you've honed in, you've kind of put together. And are those the ones that really speak to you? So now we're going to move it up one level. And I want you to use this particular kind of, I would say, these qualities. Do your wants, needs, and desires have these particular qualities? Okay. And that's the question. Do you feel scared and highly inspired at the same time? When you look at, this is what I want to achieve, is it scaring you? I mean, these naysayer thoughts are coming through it. Is it scaring you? And is it inspiring you at the same time? You know, those are the two things that should be happening. Say, I'm really scared, but my God, if I can achieve this, is so wonderful. Second point is, have you ever achieved this before? Or do you know how you can get this done? If you have never done this before, that you're trying to get a lofty ideal, and you have no idea how you're going to achieve it, those are the qualities. You're scared and inspired at the same time. You've never done this before, and you have no idea how you're going to get there. Do your current wants and needs have these qualities and textures? If they don't, I'm inviting you to now aim big and modify a current list to level up your life design. And if it scares you and inspires you at the same time, write it down. So take your wants and needs. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to actually go through your wants and needs and ask yourself, are these the qualities of that wants and needs that I have? Or do I need to level it up one more? So I'm going to give you a few minutes to do this. All right. So I hope you've had a time to reflect on your wants and needs. And if these wants and needs were enough for you, that inspires you and scares you at the same time, kudos to you. If not, I would love to hear your comments here or on the replay, comments at the bottom of the replay. Would love to hear more about how you modified your wants and needs and goals and desires. And if I can be of any service, happy to comment on that. So now you've got a new list that scares you and inspires you at the same time. You've never done it before, and you have no idea how you're going to achieve it. This is exactly how Apple, the technology company, came by. Nobody had invented a Windows-based machine, but somebody had this vision from the ether saying, "This is going to happen," and they created it. So much so that Microsoft, who was the dominant software operating system in the world, actually had to shift into a more Windows interactive-based system. And so this is what I'm talking about. When John F. Kennedy said that we're going to go to the moon, hadn't been done before. NASA engineers had no idea how that was going to happen, and yet we achieved this because there was a collective humanity that set sight on this. And I want to share something with you from a humanity perspective. You are not isolated from the human vibration on the human wants, needs, and desires. See, your wants and desires, when they actually align itself with human wants and desires in terms of energetic, if everybody wants the same thing, you will be shot through like a cannon to your desires. And the reason is it's all energy fields that are all lined up at the same time. So if you think about what's going on in the world right now, if you think about that, there is a part of the world that's warring with each other. And then there's this bigger part of the world that's saying, I want peace. And you see the more, let's take a look at the Russia-Ukraine war, for example. There's many wars happening, many strifes happening, but the one that's prominent in the North American context in terms of the news media is the Russian-Ukraine war. Russia, on paper and theory, is more is more powerful in terms of its armaments and its army than Ukraine. And it was, nobody had thought that Ukraine could withstand Russians' onslaught. But the energy of the people who are against the actual war and the progenitor of the war have raised the hopes of the Ukrainian people such that Russia is failing dismally in its attempt at invading Ukraine. When your emotions and your desires are aligned with human global desires, where everybody's feeling the need for peace, love, kindness, gentleness, love, enlightenment, and your desires line up with that, you are going to go right through like a shotgun, no problem. So this is when we talk about reflecting on your new wants, needs, and desires. Do they actually make you feel like this is who I was born to be? Do they make you feel like this is what I was born to do? And then I am inspired to take it to the next level. If your emotions and inspiration lines up with human wants and needs, it's going to propel you highly propel you. Okay, so you will also feel that anything less than what you're doing now is out of alignment with your deepest expression of life. Okay, so are you feeling this way at all? I see a comment from Michelle. I see I can be far more detailed and specific in my wants, needs, and desires. Presently, each entry on my list is too broad in description. That's correct. Thank you for bringing that up, Michelle. One of the things that the universe is looking for is specificity. Because the more specific you can be about this is what I want to do, the more the universe is able to bring you the people and the places and the resources and the inspiration to focus you in that area. So to be more specific, this is one of those little things that you need to reiterate over and over again. I'm going to show you the actual process of going back into that spiral and moving upwards, because you started somewhere, you refined it, and you realize that you need to be more specific about it, and now you're taking it up to the next level. That is really the perfect progression of our evolution of our wants, needs, and desires. A lot of us are just waiting for things to happen, where people don't realize that you need to really be very clear, because the life purpose comes from here, does not come from up there telling you what to do, because then, the whole design of humans on earth is free will, and there's no predestination other than what you've chosen to destine yourself to. So thank you for that comment, Michelle. So now that you've actually gone through, notched up, leveled up your wants and needs, and you're scared and inspired at the same time, you have no idea how you're going to do this. You've never done it before. And now the naysayer thoughts come right back, and they may come back at a different level. They may be different or the same ones, but elevated in a certain way. So let's go through the process here. And the process we're going to do this, remember, we're back to the naysayer thoughts now. So if you don't have any naysayer thoughts, it's either that you've conquered this and you're already ready to go, which is great, bear with me for that, or you're not diving deep enough. In my experience, even when I've come across, I don't have any naysayer thoughts here, it's only because I haven't taken a deeper dive into my own fears. Okay, so that's been my experience. But if it's not your experience, if you're already ready to go and there are no naysayer thoughts, move forward, because if there are any naysayer thoughts, residual naysayer thoughts, they will come up, and then you recognize it because you know how to do it. So now let's go through the process again. And this is the process. This is the formula for you to use anytime that you are leveling up to the next level and leveling up. And you'll use this formula all the time. The first thing is you'll monitor your thoughts. There are naysayer thoughts that are keeping you from your highest expression. Now, remember, your highest expression, when we actually started out in session 1, is not your highest expression when you're in session 4 now, because you've evolved. Just like I evolved out of my own depths of sadness, you've evolved from that was your goal, and now that's no longer your goal because you know how to achieve that. Or you're already saying, you know what, that's not a loftier enough goal. So your highest expression is redefined now. You are redefining your highest expression, and you're getting to a next level of that. Okay, now I've got a redefined highest expression. Then you're saying that there's naysayer thoughts that are kind of keeping you down and saying, I can't do this. I don't have the resources, whatever the naysayer thoughts are. You take those naysayer thoughts and you turn them into limiting beliefs. Once you turn them into limiting beliefs, because these thoughts are actually belief systems coming up, bubbling up from the surface. Then what you do is you create an opposite of that limiting belief, and you create an opposite belief that is inspiring and hopeful. The key is it's hopeful. That means you don't have it right now. You are hoping to have it at some point in the future. You take it to the next level and saying, I now have this. I'm experiencing this now. And now what you're doing is you are actually lining up your energy field that your heart broadcasts, a magnetic field with your emotions that are encoded on your heart's magnetic field, and it's broadcasting, and it's lining up with human magnetic field that's broadcasting throughout the world. And when those two are lined up, you've got yourself a natural fuel to propel forward. Okay, so let's go through the process here. Let's start by first taking whatever naysayer thought came up when you actually defined your new goals. There's a naysayer thought that comes through. I want you to take that and turn it into a limiting belief statement. So these are the previous examples. I don't have enough money to do that. A belief system that kind of bubbles that up in the surface is, I believe I'm not able to earn more money than I am now. That's your belief system. If you had a thing that I never succeeded at anything, I always fail at everything I do, a belief system that's associated with that is, I believe I will never catch a break, or I'm not capable of accomplishing my life's goals. That's the belief system. And once you have that belief system written down, then you can turn that around. So I'm going to give you a minute or two to actually go back to the newer goals that you set out. And in your case, Michelle, more specific goals, and then see what kind of thoughts come in your mind. You may have to repeat this process a few times to kind of, tune into that. But let's at least do this for the next 2 minutes and see what happens. So I'm going to give you a couple more minutes to do this. Okay. Now that you've turned those naysayer thoughts into limiting belief statements, let's take it to an opposite of that statement. So we're going to take the limiting beliefs that we have written out, we're going to turn them into the opposite of the limiting beliefs. So here are some examples. If you had a limiting belief that says, I believe I'm not able to earn more than I am now, that came from the naysayer thought. Then your replacement belief is, I believe I can earn more money than I have ever earned before. These are now new beliefs that you're going to replace the limiting beliefs. So now take some time to actually take your limiting belief statements that you just created and make them into belief statements that are replacement belief statements. Okay, so take that. Take a minute or so to do that. That shouldn't take you too long because you're just flipping it over and making it an opposite. So I'll give you about a minute or 30 seconds to do this. Okay, so now you have a replacement belief for your limiting belief. I'm going to take it to the next level. And the final leg on this journey is to take the new belief system and turn it into a gratitude statement. And that really brings it home and allows you to embed it in your DNA. And so now, for example, a belief system that says, I believe I can earn more money than I have ever earned before, can turn it into, I'm so happy and grateful now that money flows to me in increasing quantities continually, and so on. So now, take a couple of minutes and rewrite your replacement belief statements to the new level and turn them into gratitude statements. So take a couple of minutes and do that now. Okay, now that you have a gratitude statement for your loftier goals, we're now going to take that into that allowing and surrendering. This is the key. So you've now defined in 3 dimensions, you've now defined exactly what you want out of life at your next level of elevation. Now what we do is we just allow and surrender. One of the important aspects of this is we don't worry about the how. You will see your goals. And the reason you have naysayer thoughts is because how am I going to do this? How is this going to happen for me? How can I possibly achieve this? All of those things. And the hows are the ones that kind of hold us back. So what we do is we surrender the how, and we say that is not our job. Our job is to focus into the intensity, with intensity of inspiration to the what we want to achieve, and the goals and the desires and what we want to feel. The how is what we surrender to the universe. So I'm going to take you through this process. And of course, I encourage you to come back and revisit your goals each time. And when you revisit your goals, go through the process of naysayer limiting beliefs, replacement limiting beliefs. After that would be your gratitude statements. And once you have all of that, you can take it to the next level and use this to surrender to the universe, the how. So now what I want you to do is take one look at your gratitude statements. And I'm going to take you through a process where you're going to actually reflect on those gratitude statements and then surrender them to the universe. And it's going to be a guided practice where you're going to align your heart, mind, and autonomic nervous system. You're going to be able to broadcast the actual frequencies of your desires and communicate in that way to the universe, who will then support you. Remember, you are the architect of your life's purpose, and the universe is here to support you. So if you still hold on to that belief, even for this moment here, you can let go of that belief later, but now hold on to that belief that you are actually the one that's in charge and the architect of your life, and the universe is here to support you. And that is how we're going to approach this particular guided meditation. Okay, so just get comfortable. You've reflected on your goals, your desires, your loftier ones. And now I just want you to just relax and close your eyes and just take slow, deep, gentle breaths. And imagine that these breaths are flowing in and out of your heart. So just slowly, gently draw those breaths in as if imagine them flowing into your heart. And as you exhale, imagine them flowing out of your heart beyond you. And do this for a few breaths. Just get used to just having your breaths flowing in gently and out. There's no need to stop at the top or the bottom of the breath. Just allow it to flow naturally in and out. If you take 5 seconds to breathe in, take 5 seconds to breathe out. Allow these breaths to be symmetrical. Now take deeper breaths. Imagine them flowing into your heart and down to your root chakra or your perineum, and then exhale from your root chakra out through your heart. Slow, deep, gentle breaths. Imagine them flowing into your root chakra, and imagine them flowing out of your root chakra and out from your heart. You will be breathing from your nose or your mouth, but your imagination will follow the feel of the breath going into your heart, down to your root chakra. On your next breath in, imagine the breath flowing all the way down to the center of the earth. And as you exhale, coming from the center of the earth, all the way out through your heart. So it goes into the heart, lower abdomen, root chakra, down your legs to the center of the earth, comes out of the center of the earth, up your legs, through your root chakra, through the lower abdomen, and out through your heart. And you will continue to breathe in this way. And imagine a big, huge magnetic field bubble forming around you that encompasses the entire earth. So you and the earth are one and big same bubble. And all the souls who are generating the frequency of gratitude and appreciation are lined up with your frequency of gratitude and appreciation. And now begin to recall your gratitude statements. And begin to imagine you're in it, you're already living it, that it is unfolding in the moment, your reality. And how do you feel? What is that energy field that you are broadcasting, as if you're there now and you're experiencing all the joy, all the gratitude, all the inspiration from achieving exactly what you have sought to achieve. So take a few minutes and just bask in the gratitude energy of you having already achieved this, because you're thank you for this, because I am already in receipt of this. Take a minute or two. And now take this emotion and this feeling and imagine it radiating from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. You're just feeling this amazing emotion. And it resides in every cell in your body. Every cell in your body is vibrating with gratitude, your gratitude statements. I'm so happy and grateful now. And then broadcast this outward in all directions, front, behind, sides, top, and bottom. As you're expanding this, envelop the entire globe. Reach beyond this. Align yourself with the greater harmony of vibration that is there to support you. And as you experience deep inspiration, intense joy from having already achieved your desires, as you do that, give more gratitude for that. Experience anticipation of leveling up from this particular level. When you do that, it signals to the universe you've already achieved this level. And now in your heart, beam it out from your heart. And if it helps, raise your hands in the air and say, I surrender this to the universe. I'm here. I'm so grateful now, so happy and grateful now that whatever that statement is, you're so happy and grateful now, and you surrender that to the universe to give you more of that, to bring you more experiences that amplifies this particular feeling of gratitude. You are now letting go of the how, because that is the universe's job. That is not yours to control. Your job is to just experience the deep, rich intensity of what you want your life purpose to be, what you want to achieve in your goals, in your direction, in your experience in this life. And you're surrendering this to the universe. Big smile on your face. And in this surrender, there's a lot of trust that you will walk the path with 100% trust that the universe is providing you the experiences necessary to take you to that next level. That anything that happens to you, that you will experience without judgment. The only voice that should be in your head is that this experience is there for the universe to teach me to get to the next level. I'm going through a university of life, and I must learn these things, and the universe is presenting me with these things to give me the opportunity to build competence and talent, which is one of the few things that we need to achieve our magnificence. Whatever experiences come by, you will take it as one of the richest learning experiences you'll have. And there will be no failure. There will be no such thing as failure. There will only be experiences with joy and gratitude and 100% trust in the universe. And as you take these slow, deep, gentle breaths, experiencing them flowing in and out of your heart, connecting to Gaia, and as you smile and as you feel deep gratitude, immense joy at having achieved, you're surrendering to the universe. And now bring experiences, synchronicities, connections, resources that I need to become successful in what my desires are. Sit with this emotional energy for a few more breaths. Now gently open your eyes. Take a deep breath. This energy is going to be with you for as long as you want it to be. Because whatever you're feeling now will not dissipate, will not disappear. What you've done is you've just asked the universe to support you in your free will chosen path. Now it's up to you whether you want to bring back an old belief that says that I'm only going to be divinely inspired to do things in terms of they're going to tell me what my life purpose is, and you'll walk that path and you will search for what that is, or you will design your own be the own architect of your life. Whatever resonates with you, it's okay, because the universe will read your intentions more than understand your belief. So it's your emotion, your intentions, your feeling. As long as you keep the gratitude going, it does, it'll overwrite any of your belief systems that are in the background. Is your inspiration and your emotions are going to override all of that. So it's important to have strong, deep, inspired emotions as you're moving forward. it'll overwrite all the limiting beliefs that you have, as long as those inspiration is devoid of any naysayer thoughts. So it's a practice. So speaking of practice, you will write down your new gratitude statements 21 times twice a day. Same thing as we did before. And make sure that you've got your emotions that are truly deepened and lined. And if you have naysayer thoughts that come in, remember, it's an opportunity for you to take that and transform that. So if it's the same naysayer thoughts coming in, you will override it with a deeper inspiration. It's if you think about the energy, if the energy of the naysayer thoughts is this, you need to have inspirational energy that's higher to overwrite that, because they're just frequencies, and one will cancel the other through the amplitude of the intensity that you feel. So if you're more angry than inspired, your anger will take over, whereas the other way around is also true. Okay. So when you write this thing down and when you actually experience the emotion of gratitude as if you've had this, you've already achieved this, that is the key. Once you've achieved this thing, and it's not if, it is when you've achieved your new lofty goal, your new plateau, set new ones. You will never, we talked about this in the beginning, you'll never ever be at a point where now this is great, now I don't want anything more. You will always experience the yearning to strive for something greater, and it'll come from within. It'll just be something that we're humans, we do that. And so this is a beautiful thing. If it happens to you, it's never a point of I'm not satisfied with my life. It's a point of I'm so satisfied with my life. I wonder what something greater than this feels like, because if I'm satisfied now, something greater than this will be even more satisfying. And then the other part becomes mundane to you. Okay. So set new ones and go through the same process. So I want to thank you. This is part 4. I hope it was useful. I see a comment coming through. Michelle says, I can now sense the energy behind my body and I'm crying in gratitude. Wonderful. There's a breakthrough. Beautiful. Excellent. I feel that I'm living in love, one of my desires. Beautiful. If you experience that here, that's a major breakthrough. And you know what? That is the most powerful emotion you can feel, because it is as close as you can get to the divine, is this love. And if you can turn the love into unconditional love, that gets you many miles closer to the universe. So, when we judge ourselves, there's no, we may love us, but we may love ourselves conditionally. We love ourselves when we do something good, but we don't love ourselves when we do something bad. When you can turn this feeling of love into unconditional love, whatever mistakes that you think you're going to make or made are forgiven by you. You forgive yourself and you just feel love for yourself. That is unconditional love. That is the path. That is really the jet fuel to get you to your life's desires. All right. Thank you for that. Those comments, Michelle. It was wonderful having all of you here on this particular program. I hope the 4 weeks have been helpful. Remember, go back to this practice again and continue on, because you'll never, ever stop reaching for new heights. You will always continue to reach for new heights. So all the best to you. Thank you so much again for joining me today. And until next time, take care for now.